Greetings and welcome, brave citizens of our new world. I am Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat. This is our layer 3.0, and today is day 14, Easter Friday, of our VEDA challenge, VEDA, vlogging every day in April. And I'm just going to get into the questions today. Here's a question that's always perplexed me. Why do evil scientists and supervillains always monologue about their grand master plan to the good guys? Is it some sort of self-confidence for themselves that they are on the verge of success? Yeah, it's pretty much just posturing. Nothing really big or fancy or crazy about it. It's just, you know, you're in a position where you finally get to reveal this great big thing that you've been working on that you haven't been able to tell anybody about because you've been putting all of your heart and soul and effort into it, and now you finally have the chance to talk about it because this is one person you don't expect to tell anyone else because they're about to die, and they're your mortal enemy, and you get to give them those last few moments of just crippling despair before they're destroyed to reveal to them all the things that you're going to do going forward. Let's say you're at a bar with some fancy villains that you want to impress. What would you order and how would you order it? I'd order what I want, how I want. And here's why. If you find people in your life that you think to be genuinely exceptional, people that are very interesting, people that are really cool, people that excite you, inspire you, the whole thing, and you want to spend lots of time with them, and you want to try to impress them, you want them to see you as a person that is equally as exciting or interesting or inspiring and uplifting, etc. So you want to try to observe them and then edit your behavior to match their thing. Here's the trick though. Don't do that. Just be you. I mean, relax, like chill out, but be you. If you're able to identify any of your behavior as being destructive or damaging to people, then definitely try to edit that out. But not because you're trying to impress people, but because you're trying to be a better person. By and large, though, you should just be yourself. And then if those people want to spend time with you, then they will. Because no matter how interesting or uplifting or inspiring those individuals are, if they don't like you for who you are, then you shouldn't be spending time with them. So just be you, and the people that don't like you for who you are will eventually see themselves out or just won't spend as much time with you. And the people that do like you for who you are will surround you and spend time with you, and you won't have to edit yourself at all. Speaking from experience, trying to be a person you're not is exhausting. Doc, I sent you an email. Hope you got it. As for my question, I have two. I believe I did. I just haven't had a chance to get back to any of them yet. Apologize for the wait. How would other villains, such as myself, join Evil Incorporated? What would they need to do? Would there be levels you would have to work up from? How would branding work? Well, Evil Incorporated has our one brand, the T now. After this, going forward, we are going to be opening up things like joining Evil Incorporated mailing lists. You know, there's a donation program that we have on Patreon where if you continue to donate for periods of time, then we send you swag and stuff like that. You can check that out in the description down below. And different jobs would have different requirements and would be seeing themselves out on the mailing lists as per usual. 2. I'm about to head out to dinner date with my henchwoman/assistant. Yay or nay on wearing my outdoor lab coat, a lab coat made out of thick fabric to stay warm, as like you, I'm a Canadian villain. I made with a dress shirt underneath it, since she admitted she finds brainy/smart looking guys attractive. Update, she loved it. Excellent. I was gonna say the same thing, like you definitely need to wear your lab coat when you go out. I can't wear my lab coat during the winter because I have heavier stuff that I need to wear because it gets crazy insane cold around here, but spring, summer, fall, I am looking forward to casually wearing lab coats and getting better lab coats to wear just in general. What are your views on Scotland wanting to become independent from the UK? Let them. I mean, I have a biased opinion on that because I'm of Scottish descent and I don't like the history that surrounded Scotland being basically taken by the English once upon a time and the way that they've been treated over the years. I think that Scotland should absolutely have their own country back, just very much like how Canada and the United States were once colonies of the great United Kingdom and are now their own thing. So the Star Wars Episode 8's trailer has just come out today. Your initial thought? I think it looks really cool. I mean, I like Star Wars. I watched it growing up. I played lots of Star Wars games when I was a kid. I'm not like a really fervent fanboy. So I thought the new trailer looked really cool, and I'm really excited for it, but I'm not like knocking buildings over with my fan boner. You get any animal as a pet in real life from any video game you want. What are you picking and why? Dog meat. Because I think he's really cute. And he can't die, so... Another giant wall of text full of like 7 questions. Okay, you gotta boil it down to like 1 question at a time, okay? If I'm answering more than 1 question at a time, it's usually because I have an answer that I really want to give for one of those things. But if you're sending me a wall of text with like 5 questions in it, I'm not, no. How do I join Evil Incorporated, but not as a henchman or minion? Is there other positions available? I mean, there are different kinds of minions and different kinds of, you know, henchmen, henchwomen, henchpeople, etc. Like Ace of Blades, the head of operations, is a henchman. Hey Doc, I was just wondering, if given the rebranding that you went through, are you planning on remaking any of your old videos under the new banner? And if so, which ones stand out to you as a must? Nope, it's going to be all new content going forward. As much as I love some of the older videos that I've made and some of the old content that I've done, and it's been super fun putting that stuff together, I'm going to leave those as archives, and I'm just going to start doing new stuff going forward. I've got a lot of really cool ideas that I want to do, and I don't want to necessarily get bogged down too much by looking back to distract me from looking forward. Which fandom infuriates you the most? I don't know, it's a pretty close tie between Homestuck Bronies and Steven Universe. Which measures do you plan to put in place in order to prevent people from creating a counter-virus to get rid of your anti-aging one? Getting rid of the lines in the human genome that control telomere degradation is a lot easier than recreating or rebuilding them. So if someone manages to somehow do that and succeeds, the previous dormant virus that deleted that line of code is still present and dormant, will just reactivate and re-remove the line. So it is kind of a permanent one-way street. So does that mean you and Hess are becoming an item or just friendly awesome? No. I'm in my own happy thing over here, and she's in her own happy thing over there. We just work really well together as a team. Like, we did a lot of really cool work together on The Rise of Dr. Terawatt, and we're looking to do a lot of really cool work going forward, but it is not a romantic thing. People have been asking me a lot of that lately. It seems that, like, Cassie and Hess and other female guests that I have on the show, if, I'm dating them, and I'm not. Guys and girls can be friends. Dear Doc, have you ever considered just laying waste to humankind and building anew from the ashes? Yup, but the plan is to not do that. The plan is to keep as many people alive as possible during this period of transition, to save people, not just destroy everything and try over. When you desperately need to relax and alleviate stress, do you kick back and read pleasant books with music, as I do, generally reference books while Midnight Syndicate and Nox Arcania plays? And if so, what music plays while you read those pleasant books? I am an absolute sucker for classical music. Beethoven, Bach, and I know that's such a cliche thing to say, but it's the case. I grew up listening to that kind of music while riding in the car with my parents, and it just stuck with me. I don't read recreationally too much, as I have mild dyslexia, and reading, as I described for me, is like if you're walking and reading at the same time the wrong direction through the gay pride parade. Like, there's a lot of color and noise, and you're being sprayed with what you hope is water. So while I can read, it is difficult. Recreationally, I usually do things like game, and the games I usually do for recreation are either strategy or ultra-violence. Can I come for the games? Yeah, Big Mike, D20 Live. If you want to come out for, like, doing Let's Plays and stuff when we have our new gaming channel set up, I would absolutely be thrilled for that. I think that would be a huge amount of fun. BUT, but if we do that going forward, then what I'm going to want to do is maybe have a series of a game with you and me, and then a series of a game with me and Cassie, because if I'm playing a game like Breath of the Wild, where I'm playing a one-player game, and she's there, having already played it as commentary and advice, and sort of my Navi-esque thing, and we can have discussions about game development, etc., then having you also there might create too many cooks in a kitchen kind of situation. But if there's another game that you're interested in for me to play, and then there's you and me, and then you can have commentary and things, or you'll be playing and I can have commentary, etc., then that would also work. I'm not against the idea of having more people in, but I would want to have the game that we're playing be a game that involves more than one person, so that we don't have as many people sitting off controller and as many people just talking about things not related to what's going on. If you could wish yourself into leadership, would you, or do you just want to work for it? Honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the hard work that comes with earning something that's difficult, but if I could just wish myself into the position of World Emperor and just take full control and implement my better world immediately, absolutely. I would, drop of a hat, I would do that right now, because that would completely minimize, if not entirely eliminate, the losses that we would experience during that period of transition. All those resources spent just on taking over the world, saved. So boss, I know you plan on using bots as the basis of your army to keep the peace, but what of having a core group of organic super soldiers a la Spartan 2s and 3s as more covert op troops? This is a thing that Warden and I disagree on. He is very much for using super soldiers and things like that, but enhanced metahumans for me is definitely almost always a no-go. There's too many random values, there's too many sort of chaotic things going on, things that I can't control directly, that makes them unattractive to use as soldiers, even as covert troops. And that is all the time that we have for today, so if you have any more questions or things you want to talk about, leave them in the comments section down below. I'm liking that you guys are sort of starting your own conversations when there's like a comment and then there's additional comments underneath that, so like, wicked cool. And until next time, my brave citizens, I am Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terawatt. This is our Layer 3.0, and I will see you tomorrow on our next episode of VEDA. End of line.